Welcome to another Gene Key Contemplation. Sarah D. Flo here. We're going to dive into Gene Key 61. The shadow is psychosis. The gift is inspiration. And the siddhi, the highest level of expression, is sanctity. In the audio, Richard Rudd starts off by saying, psychotic, we're all psychotic. And, psychosis has to do with the state of our mind. And in this world that we live in a world that has been created by the mind and that of our shadows. Our civilization has been created based off of greed, based off of a lust for power, and based off of our fear of death. So we can see the destruction and the dissembling and the ways that our world isn't working right now. And many people who have awakened to the higher states are not surprised at what's going on in the world. We are, at a point in time in history where so many people are awakening and opening their hearts and realizing that we've lived in psychotic states, somewhat stable. We've been stable psychotics, to use Richard Rudd's word. And that's where we begin our journey. We begin our journey by realizing there's more than just the mind, and that knowledge isn't really power. Knowledge can only take us so far, and then we need to navigate the world with wisdom, which is only discovered within and with an open heart. We can feel the difference of what a world would be, what our civilization would be like if it was not based off of greed and lust for power and fears of death. And I've talked for many years about marketing being at the front face of our culture, and how our marketing is based off of instilling fear or creating some sort of problem and then selling the solution for a problem that may or may not really be relevant to our true needs. So first of all, we have to all admit that we are psychotic. And how do we get out of this shadow? And as with all of the journeys through the shadow to the gift and all of the 64 gene keys, the journey is in understanding the power of our creativity. And that's what inspiration is all about. It's being able to listen to the creativity, to that creative pulse that's always there, and then acting on it. And as Richard Rudd states, in order to get out of this psychotic state, out of the state of our head trips, is to be a co-creator, as God is a co-creator, and to the Latin word of inspire, breathe, to live, is to allow our humanness to create with our grief, with our pain, with our joy, with our sadness, and to see where that leads us. This inspiration, this creativity is a healing power. It is beautiful. It inspires wonder and awe. And that's how we start to ascend the frequency, in this case, to the gift of inspiration. And at the shadow level, we can try to, we're often at the shadow level, we have this impatience and we have this desire to get out of the uncomfortable feelings we're in. All the shadow states have the energy of a victim. And so because we believe we're victims, we don't bother to listen to the inner wisdom that we have, or the pulse of inspiration that's always there wanting to pull us up. And so we'll go for things, or we'll give our power away to outside sources or substances. and try to chase these higher states, which can be really dangerous because if it all happens too quickly, there's like a chemical overload and we lose our stability, and that's where we can get into the unstable psychotic states. And as he states, the gene keys are a way that is a slow, gradual process to like slowly allow the hearts to open and slowly feel the higher states. And I certainly relate to this. Being someone who was a people pleaser, who was a straight A student or tried her best and, very much gave my power away to outside systems and numbers and figures for my value, my worth, my success, as I feel many humans, I was going to say women, but it's humans, the more that I speak with people, I thought of these higher states as that's the goal and how quickly I can get there. And it really did overwhelm me. And the purpose is not to, achieve these higher states quickly or at all, but rather to be able to integrate these higher states. The integration of experiencing these higher states and then how to live here on earth as a human, what it means to be a human, and to really explore beyond just what we see with our mind. And as Richard Rudd says here, the gift of inspiration is to listen to that which comes from within, from beyond the veil, from beyond what we see, and allow that to re-imprint your awareness with its truth. That is definitely something that knowledge cannot do for us, and that's, the beauty of going on our inner journey. So as we climb to the highest level of the Siddhi of Sanctity, in this case, sanctity, he refers to kenosis in this one. Like there's psychosis and there's kenosis. With kenosis is an emptying of our self, an emptying of ourselves so that we can be filled with the divine. And as he says, it's not purely about just emptying yourself. If you empty yourself out, but your temple is not clear, you attract disturbed energies. And, with psychosis being of the mental plane, we have a mental plane. And if we have, thought forms that are less pure, we will attract disturbed energies. If we have thought forms that are pure, which is that idea of inspiration, then we will attract higher energies. We will attract, as he says, a more perfect geometry in our aura. And as he uses the example of a magnet and iron filings, our aura attracts. It either repels or attracts based off of the geometry we have going on within our system. And so sanctity, we have emptied ourselves out, we have purified our body. I think the purification comes from clearing out our traumas and the wounding that we have, that we're born into. As he states in this audio, to be born a human is to be born with a wound, and that journey is healing the wound, inspiration being a way to heal that wound, to fill ourselves with breath, to fill ourselves with light. And this higher Siddhi, as he says, sanctity in the I Ching, was named inner truth. And as he states with all the Siddhis, these higher frequencies, these divine energies are always there. They never go away. It's just that the denser frequencies are not able to express this. And so that's the emptying out or the purifying. And it's just a journey. It's a gradual process. And it's really accepting where we are and not trying to be further ahead than where we are, or think that we're wrong for being where we are, or to take it so personally, these wounds that we carry. And for me, the idea of inspiration and creativity is allowing ourselves to live artfully. You know, my blog is Life is a Beautiful Art, and to see everything as sacred, even our grief and our challenges and all that it means to be human. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this theme. What does being human mean to you? What does your inspiration look like? You know, inspiration can be expressed in so many ways. In gardening, creating food, playing instruments, dancing. For me, I love creating with my camera. I'd love to hear what inspires you and what does it mean to be human, or share anything you'd love to share. I'll see you in the next video.